Right, it's tick-tock for the Finance Bill 2023 that heads to the National Assembly. The sides has been drawn for the opposition. They say this is possibly a finance bill that will burden Kenya even further in these very harsh economic times. The opposition MPs are expected to oppose the bill when it gets to the floor of the House. However, the government side says it's all talk and it will push through this finance bill because it believes the contents therein are the best for this country. While the housing levy has dominated public minds, it's important to note that there are other provisions, including increase in VAT and others. We'll discuss them tonight. Today, civil society protesters who attempted to hold peaceful demos and hand over their recommendations to the finance bill to Parliament found themselves in running battles with the police, who thwarted the protest attempt. This is to discuss. And right on, with all due respect, I have a lively debate joined by Senator Samson Cherargei, Nandi Senator Karibu Sana. And on the side, Bill Okero, political economist and former senator of Mandera County. Gentlemen, good evening and welcome. Question, let's start where we should. Bilo, let's start with you. Yes, I believe you are a fair man. Until you prove me otherwise. But in your best assessment, in your time being in politics and considering where the country is at this point, where is this finance bill and how should we look at it? Is it the best thing that has happened? Is it the worst thing that has happened? Is it in between?
If I have to answer using your own choices, you gave me 3 choices. I think it's likely to be close to the worst thing under the circumstances, because of the current economic situation that we are in. One, and because of the provisions that are provided for in the bill, which will make the situation worse in the economy. So for those 2 reasons, I think yes. There's no bill finance bill that comes up with measures to raise revenue anywhere in this country or in the world where the government would say it's not a good one. It's always, the government would always have to argue that any measure to raise revenue is a good one and it's going to boost the economy, in the same way that any development project is always billed as a positive thing for the economy. When you remember the SGR, the laptop project, everything that comes up. Never mind that Kenyans express reservations, but the government would always want to promote it. But I want to look at it from also a different perspective. When you are making a law, when you are enacting a law, there is always a purpose for making a law. And the lawyers will tell you that, and he's a lawyer, that it is to address a mischief. You don't create a law for the sake of creating it. There must be a mischief that you're trying to address. So for provisions that are provided for in the finance bill, every provision there regarding, for example, taxation, I think when the government is coming up with them, they should have that at the back of their mind. Is this provision addressing a problem that is making the situation worse for the economy, or that is making the situation worse for the people? If you don't look at it in that context, then you will end up looking at it only in one context, to raise revenue. And if you look at that only, then you end up creating a bill that actually negates the objective of the state, which is to improve the well-being of Kenyans at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get Senator again to this. I know you'll say this is the best bill that has ever happened, but to be fair, and we've covered this for quite a long time, I've never seen a finance bill that has been opposed like this one, right? The public participation, the comments that are coming to National Assembly, I think this time are actually one of the highest. Is this the best thing that could ever happen from where you sit?
Thank you very much, and you have asked a leading question. I don't know. And thank you to be back with all due respect. I think it's been a minute. First things first, our brothers and sisters who are opposing this bill has made the country believe that finance bill is something that came with Kenya Kwanza. What they are not telling the country is that finance bill, and he's an expert. I've heard you call him political economist. I don't know. I used to know only economist. That colleague senator here, that this bill is what is always passed before part of cycle of budgetary process. Even counties will do the same. It's a matter of procedure. Number 2 is that there are 2 options that the country has at the moment. Either we continue borrowing, which is around 10 trillion Kenyan shillings as of now, and he knows the appreciation of the dollar against our shilling, which is affecting even the external debt that we have as a country. The other option is raise our revenue locally. And what this finance bill has done is to facilitate the government in raising revenue to run the budget. As you are aware, we have a budget of 3.6 trillion. If KRA works very hard, we are likely to collect 2.8 trillion Kenya shillings in terms of tax. My brother here and all Kenyans are aware that the first charge that you do is you pay the debt. Under Article 202 of the Constitution, we normally pay close to 1 trillion or thereabout on both local and external debt. So this finance bill is good for the country. And the reason you're asking why has it elicited reaction, it is because Kenya Kwanza government is running a transparent and open government, where it is putting in place an action Article 118. This is the first time that the government has brought the proposals out in the open for each and every Kenyan to look at it and give, and I think this is the best. For me, I don't see this as because the bill is being opposed. I'm seeing a citizenry which is informed. And that is why you can invite her, with all due respect here, James, so that we can discuss. This has never happened before. So what you should be doing is congratulating the government for allowing side discussion. The third point, the fourth point, is there are many things that have been done. I think what people are looking at is the VAT of fuel only, and maybe the housing levy fund, which I will demystify as the show goes on. As the show goes, yes, the show going on. But what I can tell you, as Kenya Kwanza troops in Parliament, and for the record, and with all due respect, this finance bill, we need it like yesterday for government to settle down, for government to provide service to the people. But we shall not...
Have you listened to us? Have you listened to... You're saying, yes, we'll bring it to the open, but the discussion we're only hearing is we will pass it whether you like it or not. Are you listening to us?
I'm the one who said that, and I don't know why you are using the long route. What I'm just saying is that as a legislator, under Article 1, you either exercise the mandate directly or indirect. Personally, I was elected by the great people of Nandi. Any process, and he has been a senator and a legislator before some of us, any process, be it a bill, a motion, or a statement, is being enriched by the discussion. It doesn't mean that it will affect the final product. And that is why, as the representatives of the people, as parliamentarians, especially on the side of Kenya Kwanza, we are not going to amend even a comma, because we believe this bill, we should allow. What is happening in the country is there is too much noise. Because our people are the people in opposition are too idle. And therefore, you know, to oppose is very easy. You just sleep and wake up in the morning and say, I don't like the show run by James Smart. And you go back and sleep. But running government is, and the mess, James, we are trying to fix, were created by our brothers and sisters who are now making a lot of noise by saying the price of unga did not increase the other day when President William Ruto came in.
We'll come to
and I will explain to you why the government removed subsidy.
We're just setting the stage.
Okay.